The Cubs had a 3-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at one went right and one went wrong. All of that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. Cubs fans, this is Jack from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 39 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Pittsburgh Pirates series, and let's get right to it. So it's a 3-game series. We're going to start with game number 1. In the top of the first, Colin Rea is pitching for the Cubs. Simon will ground out to first, Horwitz will ground out to the pitcher, and Reynolds will ground out to second. In the bottom of the first, Ashcraft pitching for the Pirates. Bush struck out looking, Suzuki will strike out swinging, and Tucker will ground out to first. In the top of the second, Gonzalez will ground out to short, McCutchen will fly out to right, as well as Suwinski. In the bottom of the second now, Happ will pop out to third, PCA will hit a double to right, Nico Hoerner will ground out to second, which will send PCA to third, and Swanson will ground out to third. In the top of the third, Triolo will hit a base hit to left, Davis struck out swinging, IKF grounds out to short, Triolo will go to second, and Simon struck out swinging. In the bottom of the third, Shaw will ground out to the catcher, McGuire will strike out on an automatic strike, and Bush struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth, Horwitz will fly out to right, Reynolds struck out looking, Gonzalez gets walked, McCutchen will hit a double to right to score Gonzalez to make it 1-0 Pirates, Suwinski got hit by the pitch, and Triolo will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the fourth, Suzuki will hit a double to left, Tucker will fly out to short, Happ will line out to short, PCA will hit a base hit to right to score Suzuki, and PCA is out stretching at second, so we end the fourth inning with a tied score at 1 run apiece. As we head to the top of the fifth, Davis will reach on an infield single to third, and he's out at second by stretching out. IKF will ground out to third, Simon gets walked, and he stole second, and Horwitz will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth, Nico Hoerner will foul out to the catcher, Dansby Swanson will ground out to short, Shaw safe at first on an error by Horwitz, and McGuire will ground out to third. At the top of the sixth, as Kittredge will go in for the Cubs, Reynolds struck out swinging, Gonzalez will fly out to center, and McCutchen struck out swinging. In the bottom of the sixth, Sisk will go in for the Pirates, Turner will pinch it for Bush as he strikes out swinging, Suzuki will ground out to short, Tucker gets walked, and Happ will ground out to second. In the top of the seventh, Brazier will go in for the Cubs as Turner's at first, Suwinski will ground out to short, Triolo will hit a base hit to right, Triolo steals second, Davis will fly out to center, IKF will hit a double to center to score Triolo to make it 2-1 Pirates, and Simon will ground out to first. In the bottom of the seventh, Tommy Pham is in left field, PCA got hit by the pitch, Matson will go in for the Pirates, Nico Hoerner hits a base hit to left, so there's 2 runners on, Dansby Swanson will reach on a bunt single to the catcher, Swanson will go to first out of fielding error by Davis, Hoerner will go to second, PCA to third, so the bases are loaded, Shaw will hit a sac fly to center to score PCA, so the game is tied up once again at 2 runs apiece. Kelly will pinch it for McGuire, he pops out to short, and Turner will pop out to second. In the top of the eighth, Keller goes in for the Cubs, Kelly is now catching, Horwitz will fly out to left, Reynolds struck out swinging, and Gonzalez will pop out to second. In the bottom of the eighth, Suzuki struck out looking, Kyle Tucker will line out to third, Happ will get walked, Santana goes in for the Pirates, Happ got caught stealing second, and Dennis Santana was pitching to PCA. In the top of the ninth, Palencia goes in for the Cubs, McCutchen will fly out to center, Suwinski hits a home run to left center field to make it 3-2 Pirates, Triolo will ground out to second, and Davis will fly out to center. In the bottom of the ninth, PCA will hit a base hit to center, he got caught stealing second, Hoerner will fly out to left, and Swanson will ground out to short to end the game. The Cubs once again lose the series opener 3-2 to the Pirates. The win goes to Santana, who's 4-4 on the year, 1 1/3 innings pitch, he gave up only 1 hit. Palencia with the loss, who's 1-3 on the year, he gave up 1 run and 1 hit. So again, I don't understand what the Cubs offense is going through at this moment, particularly. And watching these games, just in general, they were very frustrating. 2 runs against the Pirates, and I'm sorry, unless you're going up against Paul Skeens, you should probably putting up at least 4 runs against this Pirates team. Not for nothing, the Pirates are one of the worst teams in the league. There's a reason I picked them to be the worst team in the division before the year even started, when people were saying it was going to be St. Louis. I've seen Pittsburgh long enough, and I know how garbage of a team they are. There is no excuse for us to be only putting up 2 runs against this team. So with that said, The Cubs lose game 1, but they have a chance to bounce back in game number 2. So in game number 2, Shota Imanaga pitching for the Cubs. Triolo will strike out swinging, Pham will ground out to second, and Reynolds will fly out to right. Burrows pitching for the Pirates in the bottom of the first. Bush will hit a base hit to right, Tucker will ground it into a double play, and Suzuki will fly out to center. In the top of the second, Gonzalez struck out swinging as well as McCutchen. Bart will fly out to center. In the top of the second, PCA struck out swinging, Kelly will pop out to second, and Happ will ground out to short. In the top of the third, Peguero will strike out looking, Canario, former Cub there by the way, will line up to short, and IKF will ground out to short. In the bottom of the third, Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to right, Swanson struck out swinging, and Shaw will ground into a double play. In the top of the fourth, Triolo will fly out to short, Tommy Pham hits a home run to left field to make it 1-0 Pirates, Reynolds will ground out to second, as well as Gonzalez. In the bottom of the fourth, Mike Bush will ground out to first, Tucker will hit a base hit to right, Suzuki will pop out to second, PCA gets walked, and Kelly will hit a base hit to center to score Tucker. PCA will go to third to tie the game up at 1 run apiece. Kelly steals second, Happ will get walked, but then Nico Hoerner will pop out to short. In the top of the fifth, McCutchen will ground out to short, Bart will foul out to first, and Peguero will strike out looking. In the bottom of the fifth, Swanson flies out to right, Shaw will hit a base hit to left, Bush struck out looking as well as Tucker. In the top of the sixth, Canario will fly out to left, IKF will also fly out to left, Triolo will hit a double to left, Tommy Pham gets walked, and Reynolds will fly out to center. Nicholas will go in for the Pirates in the bottom of the sixth. Suzuki will hit a base at the center. PCA got hit by the pitch, so Suzuki will go to second. Kelly will fly out to first, Happ will line out to right, and Nico Hoerner will ground it into a fielder's choice to third. Suzuki is out at third. In the top of the seventh now, Gonzalez will ground out to third, McCutchen will fly out to left, Bart gets walked, Peguero will hit a base hit to left, and Bart will go to third, but then Canario will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the seventh, Swanson ground out to third, Shaw will ground out to second, and Bush will strike out swinging. Kittredge will go in for the Cubs in the top of the eighth. IKF struck out swinging, Triolo will hit a base hit to center, Pham will ground out to third, Triolo will go to second, and he stole third, but then Reynolds struck out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth, Sisk will go in for the Pirates, as Tucker will hit a base hit to right, and he stole second. Suzuki will hit a base hit to center to score Tucker. Suzuki will go to second and make it 2-1 Cubs. PCA hit a sac bunt to Sisk. Suzuki will go to third. Ramirez will go in for the Pirates, and Kelly struck out swinging. Happ gets intentionally walked, which was not a good decision because you have Nico Hoerner, who's one of the best hitters and runners in scoring position, and he does what he does best. Hits a double to center to score Suzuki. Happ will go to third to make it 3-1 Cubs, and Swanson lines out to left. And the top of the ninth, Keller will go in for the Cubs, trying to go for the save. Gonzalez will hit a base at the center. McCutchen struck out looking, as well as Bart. Horwitz will pinch it for Peguero. Gonzalez will go to second on a fielder's indifference, but then Horwitz struck out swinging to end the game. The Cubs win the game by a final score of 3-1. Kittredge with the win, who's 3-3, gave up only one hit in an inning with 2 strikeouts. Sisk with the loss, who's 0-1 on the year, 1/3 of an inning pitch, gave up 2 earned runs and 2 hits. Keller with his first save of the season, with only 1 hit and 3 strikeouts. So my 3 starts for this game, my third star was Nico Hoerner, who went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Seiya Suzuki went 2 for 4 with an RBI as well. And Shota Imanaga was my first star, who went 7 innings pitched with only 1 earned run, 3 hits allowed with 6 strikeouts. So with that said, the Cubs, they get by in this game, and they have a chance to take the series in game number 3. So in game number 3, Javier Asada will pitch for the Cubs. Simon will ground out to second as well as Horwitz. Reynolds will hit a double to left, but Pham struck out swinging. In the bottom of the first, Ladzinski will be going for the Pirates. Bush will line out to center. Tucker will ground out to first, and Suzuki will ground out to short. In the top of the second, Gonzalez will ground out to third, and Sawinski will ground out to second, and Triolo struck out swinging. In the bottom of the second, PCA saved it first on a fielding error by Gonzalez. Kelly struck out looking. PCA will go to second on a wild pitch. Happ will hit a base hit to center, which will score PCA to make it 1-0 Cubs. Hoerner will fly out to right, and Swanson will fly out to center. In the top of the third, Bart will ground out to short. IKF hits a base hit to center. Simon will ground out to first. IKF will go to second. Horwitz will hit a double to center to score IKF to make it 1-1. Reynolds will hit a base hit to center, which will send Horwitz to third, and Pham will line out to right. In the bottom of the third, Shaw will ground out to short. Bush will ground out to Mladzinski, and Tucker will strike out swinging. In the top of the fourth, Gonzalez will hit a base hit to right. Sawinski will ground it into a fielder's choice at first, and Gonzalez is out at second. Triolo gets walked. Bart will strike out swinging, and IKF will ground out to first. In the bottom of the fourth, Suzuki will ground out to third. PCA struck out swinging, and Kelly will fly out to center. In the top of the fifth, Rogers will go in for the Cubs. Simon fouls out to first. Horwitz struck out swinging. Reynolds is safe at first on a throwing error by Rogers, and he's safe at second on the error, and Pham will line out to third. In the bottom of the fifth, Holderman will go in for the Pirates. Happ will get walked. Horner will ground out to third, which will send Happ to second. Swanson hits a double to left, which will score Happ on an error, and Swanson is safe at third on the error by left fielder Tommy Pham to make it 2-1 Cubs. Shaw will pop out to short. Heaney will go in for the Pirates, and Bush will ground out to first. In the top of the sixth, Ben Brown goes in for the Cubs. Gonzalez will hit a base hit to left. Suwinski gets walked, and Gonzalez will go to second. Triolo struck out swinging. Bart hits a double to left, which will score Suwinski and Gonzalez to make it 3-2 Pirates. And then IKF will ground it to a field choice to short. Bart is out at third, and Simon will hit a base hit to left, which will send IKF to third, and Horwitz will ground out to second. In the bottom of the sixth, Tucker will ground out to first. Suzuki will get walked. PCA will hit a base hit to right. PCA will go to second, and Suzuki will go to third to load the bases. Shugart will go in for the Pirates here as Kelly will hit a base hit to center. Suzuki will score, and PCA will go to third to tie the game up at 3 runs apiece. Happ struck out looking. Nico Horner gets walked. Kelly will go to second, and Swanson will fly out to right. In the top of the seventh, Reynolds will line out to left. Pham struck out swinging, as well as Gonzalez. In the bottom of the seventh now, Casey will pinch hit for Shaw. He fouls out to third. Bush will ground out to second. Tucker gets walked, and Suzuki will strike out looking. In the top of the eighth, Castro's at third. Suwinski will hit a ground rule double. Triolo will hit a sac bunt to third. Suwinski will go to third. Bart struck out swinging. IKF gets walked. Thielbar will go in for the Cubs, and Simon will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth, Matson will go in for the Pirates. PCA hits a base hit to center. Kelly will ground it to a fielder's choice to second, and PCA will go to second. Happ will hit a ground rule double, and Kelly will go to third. Nico Horner gets intentionally walked. Swanson will hit a sac fly to right to score Kelly. Happ will go to third to make it 4-3 Cubs, and Castro will fly out to center. Kittredge will go in for the top of the ninth for the Cubs, and he goes for the save now, as Horwitz will fly out to center. Reynolds will ground out to first, and Pham will ground out to third to end the game. The Cubs win Game 3 by a final score of 4-3, and they finally win a series for the first time since the Baltimore Orioles series earlier in August. So the win goes to Thielbar, who's 3-3 on the year, with only 1/3 of an inning pitched. He had 1 strikeout. Matson with the loss, who's 3-2, 1 inning pitched. He gave up 1 earned run and 2 hits. And Andrew Kittredge with his first save of the year, 1 inning pitched, and no strikeouts, no hits, no runs, nothing. So my 3 stars for this game: Carson Kelly was my 3rd star, who went 1 for 4 with an RBI. Ian Happ was my 2nd star, who went 2 for 3 with an RBI. And Dansby Swanson, who went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. So with that said, the Cubs after this series are 70-53. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 52-73. So again, not a very pretty series against a garbage team like the Pirates, but at this point, the Cubs offense was struggling mightily. Just take the wins while you get them. So with that said, the Cubs, they take the series. They take 2 out of 3. And I said it in my other series recaps that I posted today, which were the Reds, Cardinals, and Blue Jays series recaps, that I'm posting all of these throughout the day. So if you haven't watched those 3 series recaps, I recommend you doing so. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below on this series recap, and I will have more series recaps coming out tomorrow, including the Brewers, Angels, Giants, and Rockies. So be on the lookout for all that. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is Jack from Cubs360, and as always, go Cubs go.